Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of the 19th of April 2015. It has been revised from the 23rd of November 1979. The title is By Wearing the Armor of Humility, You Receive Love and Cooperation. By wearing the armor of humility, by wearing the Namrata ka kavach, you receive love and cooperation. You receive sneh or sahyog. Bapdada says, today there is a group of servers. To reside in Madhuban means to be a server. Just as Father Brahma was the #1 world server, in the same way, to be a resident of Madhuban means to be an unlimited server. Unlimited servers have unlimited virtues. You saw how Brahma Baba looked at others with unlimited vision, how whatever he spoke or heard was always of the unlimited. Even when he had any relationship or connection with others, it was in an unlimited way. Every thought he had was of unlimited benevolence. In his sanskars too, there was unlimited renunciation and tapasya, not just tapasya of 2 or 4 hours. Unlimited tapasya means to be an embodiment and image of tapasya at every second. In his corporeal image and face, you always saw in a practical way renunciation, tapasya, and service. Tyag, tapasya, seva. Father Brahma, a resident of Madhuban, was called Baba of Madhuban. Madhuban ke Baba. Therefore, the residents of Madhuban and the servers who live on the same land as that father are following him. Therefore, the residents of Madhuban and the servers who live on the same land as that father are following him. People sing songs of praise of the residents of Madhuban, whilst the residents of Madhuban are images of virtues. Are you stable in such an unlimited stage? Do you continue to move along as an Aladdin's lamp? Aladdin's lamp, Allah Avaldin ka Chirag, is very famous for showing whatever you want to see and enabling you to attain whatever you want to attain. Each resident of Madhuban is a special Aladdin's lamp. You show your home and the kingdom in a second. That is, you grant liberation and liberation in life. Your praise is so great, but do you all conduct yourselves whilst considering yourselves to be as great as the praise that is sung of you? Is it that you residents of Madhuban have yet to become #1, or that you are already #1? If you are still using the words, it should be like this. If you still think that this is yet to happen, then how are you going to be able to fulfill all the desires of the people of the world? The land that had a powerful bomb dropped on it is completely transformed. Similarly, residents of Madhuban should prepare such a powerful bomb of their practice underground and rehearse for it here, now. The tinier something is, the more powerful it is. That thing is so tiny, and yet it is to carry out such a great task. Now, invent something new, so that the vibrations are able to spread everywhere, in all directions. You all think that something should now happen. Then, why does it not happen? What is the reason for this? Why does something stop you from putting it into practice? What barrier creates an obstruction to the thought? It has to happen. On the one hand, you think something should happen, and on the other hand you think, this will happen at the end. It will continue in this way for the time being. It is the same for everyone at present. Such a brick wall of waste thoughts is put up that you are prevented from intensifying your efforts. In order to jump over this wall, you have to take the high jump of one determined thought. What is that? Each of you should think, I shall definitely do this. Each of you should individually think that you will change should happen into I shall definitely do this. You should not stop to watch or listen to others. Only then would everyone come together as a gathering. Take such a high jump that when 1 and 2 come together, they become like 12. Only then will you become unlimited servers like the Father. Do you now understand the importance of what it means to be a server? This is your foremost service. Create separate groups. In the early days, you formed groups of effort makers. You should now form groups of effort makers of an equal level. Within that, also make a weekly plan. What thought will you have at Amrit Vela? What specialty will you observe during class time? What aim will you keep while doing Karma Yoga? To what will you pay special attention during evening meditation? Whilst taking a walk, by doing what type of service through your minds? Will you spread vibrations everywhere? What will you check at night before you go to sleep? Now create such groups and race with one another. Let there be such enthusiasm in your heart. When you do it according to a specific program given to you, it only lasts for a short time. Whereas, when you do it according to the thought in your own mind, it becomes eternal. Only when you yourselves have the thought of doing it and of definitely achieving something, will you be able to spread this vibration everywhere. Madhuban is the highest tower in the whole world. From whichever angle you look at a tower, it always appears to be high. And because it is high, everyone's vision is drawn towards it. Therefore, this is special unlimited service. At every step, you have to move along in the same way as Father Brahma. You saw how Father Brahma used to stay awake at night and churn knowledge as to how to spread vibrations everywhere. Similarly, all of you children should think about it. Don't just think that you will do whatever program you are given. No, in this aspect, do it yourself and also inspire others to do it. Whoever takes the initiative is Arjun. If you continue to watch others, you are left behind. Everyone follows those who do something. Whether you cook chapatis or do any other type of service, you should be an embodiment of powerful remembrance. Serve the world with your mind. A world server doesn't just serve in one way, but does double service. Whilst your hands are doing physical work, continue to use your mind to donate powers. When you are serving, always make sure that you serve as an embodiment of all virtues. Then you will accumulate double. Always do double service. Each one of you should consider yourself to be an instrument. In your lectures, you tell people, when you change, the world will change. This also applies to you. You yourself should not make mistakes when you see others making mistakes. You are able to see the mistakes of others, but you don't seem to be able to see that you too are making mistakes. For instance, if you are in the company of someone who is saying something wrong and be colored by that person's company, you yourself say something wrong, that means you are influenced by the color of that one's company. Are you not? If someone is making a mistake, let me keep doing what is right and not be influenced by that one's company. You become careless when you are influenced. So, will the Pandavas go ahead in this, or will the Shaktis? Simply take on the responsibility of always following the path of doing what is right. If you ever see someone doing something wrong, do not do anything wrong yourself. If at any time you see someone doing something wrong, use your power of accommodation. If all of you put this thought into practice, world transformation will easily take place. Are you not able to do this? The main thing is that you should make one or another plan. In the new year, you will have to do something new. Use your elevated feelings to cooperate with one another. Don't note the mistakes of others, but give them a note of cooperation. That is, fill them with the power of your cooperation and make them powerful. Don't see or listen to anything such as, this one did this, that one is always doing that. Otherwise, your sanskars of carelessness will become very strong. By watching or listening to others, you yourself remain careless. According to the present time, you must now finish all trace or mention of wastefulness. Don't say anything wasteful. Do not perform any wasteful actions. Don't keep any wasteful company. Wasteful company uses up all your time and strength. So, what flag will you hoist this year? No matter how much someone tries to find a weakness amongst you, he should not be able to find the slightest conflict of sanskars or nature between anyone. What would happen if all of you today had the determination to burn your Ravan of waste? It would be a true Deepavali. Now make this promise. Whenever someone insults or defames you, you must act like a saint. When someone defames you, you should shower flowers on the one defaming you. Don't say that you did something because of what that one said. No matter what the other person did, no matter how wrong it was, you must remain right. For instance, when someone tells you 10 things and you respond once, it means that you are not a lotus flower, because a drop of mud has touched the flower. If anyone clashes with you, then give them the water of your love. This will put out the fire. When you ask, why is this like this? What is this? You are pouring oil on it. Constantly wear your dress of humility. This humility is your armor. It is your kavach. But you sometimes remove your armor. Where there is humility, there will definitely be love and cooperation. And where there is love and cooperation, you don't pour oil. So, what will each of you do this coming year? Of course, your sanskars will remain different, but you shouldn't be influenced by those sanskars. Until the end, some will have the sanskars of a servant, and others will have sanskars of a king. Don't wait for the sanskars of others to change, but make sure that you are not influenced by anyone. Firstly, each one's sanskars are different, and secondly, one thing or another comes in the form of Maya. This will not finish, but each of you can at least stay safe by remaining a detached observer and a lotus flower. It is possible, is it not, for someone to be speaking whilst the one who is listening doesn't hear? You can solve anything by staying within the line of the code of conduct. Although you have different sanskars, there should be no conflict. For this, become knowledgeful. Since you call yourselves world benefactors, there must also be those who are non-benefactors, for whom you have to be benefactors. If there were no non-benefactors, then for whom would you be benefactors? Whenever others are doing something wrong, you must consider them to be under an external influence, and then, by seeing them with mercy, transform them. Don't discuss it with them. When you come to a rock, your duty is either to pass by that rock or to make that one your companion and climb over that rock. If you don't have the courage to make that one cross the barrier, at least you do not stop there. Cross that barrier and continue to move on. You must pay attention to this. If you want to look at something, then look at the specialties. If you want to renounce something, then renounce your own weaknesses. When you have to come into contact or connection with others, only look at their specialties. Otherwise, just continue to look at the Father. Let each one of you have the determination to remain an embodiment of tapasya and spread rays of peace and power. It is no longer the time to caution one another through your thoughts or words. You must now cooperate with one another with good wishes in your mind. You must move forward and inspire others to do the same. Then Avyakt Bap Dada has 2 group meetings. The topic for the first one is, the confluence age is blessed. The confluence age is blessed. At this time, make yourself full of these blessings. Are all of you making yourselves full of the special blessings of the confluence age? The confluence age is called the blessed age. It is at the confluence age that the impossible becomes possible. The confluence age is the age of total transformation. In this age, you are the heroes and heroines who play elevated parts. Do you always have this much intoxication? It is only at the confluence age that you receive the blessing of being constantly full. From the copper age onwards, you sometimes receive a blessing for a temporary period, whereas a blessing at the confluence age is for all time. If, even now, it is only for some time, then when would it be for all time? At the confluence age, your name is Shiv Shakti. Just as your name is combined, so always remain combined, and you will also become a conqueror of Maya. At present, you are combined in the form of Shiv Shakti, and your future aim is of Vishnu, the combined form. So, you are combined in a double form. You Pandavas always stay in remembrance, do you not? The praise of the Pandavas and the Shaktis continues even now. What would be the practical form of those whose praise continues even now? Always an elevated form. Why do you come down? When someone receives an elevated seat, does he leave it? Nowadays, just look. No one even renounces a seat of thorns. Bap Dada is giving you a seat of a stage that gives constant happiness. He seats you in a position, so why do you come down? Those people think of themselves so much because of their chair. They know that it only brings sorrow, but in spite of that, they do not renounce it. So, you must never leave your chair of an elevated stage. Remain constantly set on your angelic seat, and you will constantly continue to swing, in the swing of supersensuous joy. When you receive an inheritance so easily from the Father, what more do you need? Why do you let go of the imperishable inheritance? You simply have to remember one thing. I belong to the Father, and the Father belongs to me. Everything is merged in this one thing. This is the seed. It is easy to hold a seed, is it not? It is a little difficult to hold the expansion of the tree. It is a little difficult to hold Vriksh ka Vistar. So, simply remember one thing. Now, become one who is free from forgetting. You became those who forget during the copper and iron ages, and you are now becoming those who never forget. Especially become those who never forget this land of blessings. That is, take with you, when you go, the blessing of being an embodiment of remembrance. Leave forgetfulness here before you go. The sanskar of forgetting has now finished. Whenever any situation arises, remember this blessing. Where has the Father come from to meet you, children? If the children have to come, the Father too has to come. You come from this corporeal world, whereas the Father comes from beyond this world. The Father's love is always with the children. The Father remembers only the children constantly. Does the Father have anything else to do? All He has to do is to remember the children. Whether you know it or not, the Father remembers you. Just as the Father's duty is to remember the children's duty is to remember the Father. Remain constantly merged in love. Remain love-lean. The second topic is, the way to have constant safety is to stay in the bhatti of remembrance. The way to have constant safety is to stay in the bhatti of remembrance. According to the drama, seeing the scenes of sorrow and peacelessness of the iron-aged world, you will continue to have unlimited disinterest. No matter what happens, let there always be the ascending stage for you. For the world, there are cries of distress, whereas for you, there are cries of victory. You know that there is going to be great distress in this world. When there is distress, it means it is time to return home. Do not be afraid of any situation. Preparations are being made for you. See all types of games as detached observers. Someone may be crying, someone may be calling out, but there is pleasure in watching as a detached observer. Even the question, what will happen, cannot arise. It has to happen. It is certain to this extent, is it not? You have seen this upheaval countless times, and you are seeing it now. No matter what is happening in the world, those who stay in a bhatti of remembrance will always be safe. Do all of you always remain stable in the double light stage, like angels? Do you experience the praise of angels to be your praise? While living in your old body, be detached from the consciousness of the body. This is known as an angelic life. Because you're always light in this angelic life, you will remain in an elevated stage, because anything light never comes down. If you come into the stage of being down below, there will definitely be a burden. An angel means to be free from bondage, with no other relationship, not even with the body. You simply take its support for the sake of carrying out a task, and then go beyond. मीठे मीठे सिकिल दे बच्चों प्रति मात पिता बाप दादा का याद प्यार और गुड मॉर्निंग. रूहानी बाप की रूहानी बच्चों को नमस्ते. रूहानी बच्चों की रूहानी बाप दादा को Yaad Pyar, good morning or Namaste. The blessing for today is, may you be a number one angel who becomes an emperor by creating great fortune through great renunciation, just as Father Brahma did. May you be a number one angel who becomes an emperor, who becomes a Maharajan, by creating great fortune through great renunciation, just as Father Brahma did. The explanation is, the blessing of becoming a number one angel who becomes an emperor is received only by the children who take every step while following Father Brahma's every action, those whose minds and intellects in the corporeal form are always surrendered to the Father. Just as Father Brahma claimed great fortune through his great renunciation, that is, he became the number one angel and number one emperor, so the children who follow the Father also become great renunciates, that is, complete renunciates. They make their sanskars renounce even the progeny of vice. The slogan is, all the supports are now to break, therefore make the one Father your support. All the supports are now to break, therefore make the one Father your support, your Aadhar. Om Shanti.